Welcome to the Adventurer Podcast. We get to hear from incredible individuals who have said yes to God's call on their lives. Whether it's taking the good news of Jesus to the neighborhoods or to the nations, we all have a call to share that story.
Welcome back to the Adventurer Podcast. My name's Alex Watkins. I'm the Minister of Adult Discipleship and Missions here at First Baptist Church, and I'm joined today by...
Hi, everyone. I'm Lauren Parish. I'm the Minister of Children here, and we are joined by one of my absolute favorite people on the planet, Jerel! Chad's face just now.
Good morning. Good morning. It's good to be here.
Awesome. So that voice is Jerel Brown, the world adventurer himself, who, if he is in North America, it's for only a short amount of time.
Well, now, Alex, I do have to admit that I do stay home for sometimes 3 months at a time.
Like I said, it's for a very short amount of time.
And, you know, I'm leaving in the morning.
Where are you going?
Wisconsin.
Wow.
Well, that's at least North America.
It is North America. It's up there, but it's North America. Well, we're so excited that you are on the podcast.
Well, thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Good.
Although, you know, I'm not sure. I kind of feel like this was a setup.
Why do you say that?
Well, following Johnny O,
yeah.
I mean, that's awesome. You know, I listened to that podcast and I thought, man, Alex has set me up. I said, you know, this is just like Alex trying to sing a song after Lauren sings the Lord's Prayer.
I'm done. I'm out.
We knew this was going to be an interesting
This
podcast
is
because all
great.
three of the people at this table like to roast other people.
That's right. That's right. And so, listen, friends, you never know what you're going to get on the Adventurer Podcast. It's going to be an adventure just to get through the Adventurer Podcast today. And so we are so excited. We're so excited to dive into your story where it starts and then how, by God's grace, it has just continued. For so many years, telling the story of Jesus in so many different places across the world. And so, friends, here at the Adventurer Podcast, we seek to connect the pew to the nations, the pew to the people, all for the glory and the renown of Christ among people who have never heard his name. And so, let's dive right in. Let's dive right into the story. So what gave you the sense of becoming an adventurer?
Well, first of all, I guess a little background's in order.
Sure.
My age, I am 75 years old, so we're talking about 50 plus years of history.
Yeah.
My interest in missions and spreading the word of the gospel actually started in college. I was very active in, at my age, it was the BSU. Today it's Baptist Student Ministries. And we had a person in charge of the BSU that had been a former journeyman.
Okay.
And, the Journeymen Program started in mid-1960s.
Okay.
I think my journeyman class may have been the 6th or 7th journeyman class.
That is so cool.
And so Jerry had been, our director had been a journeyman for 3 or 4 years prior to me. He was one of the very first. And he had the BSU interested in missions. We did a couple of mission trips, one to Chicago while I was in college. And he talked to me one day about how it changed, how being overseas ministering changed his life. Mm-hmm. And that piqued my interest, and he suggested that I apply to the program.
Yeah.
And I did, and was accepted for the program. And, one of the things about doing mission work, one of the key words is flexibility.
Absolutely.
You've got to be able to go with the flow, so to speak. I was hired originally to teach English
Okay.
as a second language.
Wow.
Now, my degree is forestry. Okay, so you put those two together.
I can see how it correlates. I can get there.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, we can talk about trees in English. That works.
Sure. Well, I was assigned to a sporting vocational school.
Okay.
And between the time that I was hired
Yeah.
and the time that I actually went to the field, they closed the school.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no.
So, you got to be
Oh,
flexible.
no. Yeah.
Well, as it worked out, the school was converted to a conference retreat center.
Okay.
And so I spent 2 years doing maintenance work,
Yeah.
yard work, shopping,
Okay.
working in summer camps.
Yeah.
You are so good at all of these things even today, though, so I'm not surprised.
Well, you have to be adaptable.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
And I remember one of the things that Jerry told me was that as you go, you've got to keep in mind that you're going as a servant. And that servant mentality the whole time that I was there was key in the work that I did. So it was interesting. I cannot mention the country that I served in.
Yeah.
But what's also interesting is that 50 some odd years ago, we could talk about that country.
Yeah.
But today, it is controlled by a much more conservative group.
Sure.
And they are not friendly to our work.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's tough. You are hearing from a person who has spent time in a place where, like you just said, Jerel, where you could talk about it years ago, but now you can't. And so, friends who are listening, you're not going to hear us talk about a particular place. We are talking about a particular place. We're just not going to name it. And so, that's for security purposes. That's for other reasons as well. But let's jump back. Let's talk about the Journeyman Program. You said you were the 6th class to come through. What, for those who don't know, we've mentioned it briefly on the podcast before. What is the Journeyman Program?
The Journeyman Program is a program for college graduates, first of all.
Yeah.
It is not a program to actually recruit missionaries. It's a program that's designed for college graduates to go overseas, primarily work in their field. And so if you're an educator, if you're a musician, you would be primarily working in your field. But you got to remember to be flexible.
Flexibility, that's it.
And it accepts both singles and married couples.
Okay.
And you serve for a 2-year period.
Yeah.
And many that serve go on to become career missionaries. Many do not.
Sure.
And the idea when the program was originally started was that those that don't serve come back to local churches and provide a knowledge base for your local churches of what it's really like to be on a mission field.
Yeah. That's good.
He's describing me right now.
So, we're sitting around the table with 2 journeymen. And the Journeyman Program is through what was once known as the Foreign Mission Board, now is the International Mission Board.
That's correct.
Yeah. And so this program really helps those college graduates dive into the deep end, I guess you'd say, right?
That is correct.
And the age has gotten older because I like to say I'm the oldest journeyman to ever go. I turned 30 before I left, and it was much younger than that 3 months before I left, which is a funny part of my story that we'll talk about later. But I believe the age now is you have to be in training by 30, I think. Is the new age. But so it is college graduates, but it's extended beyond that, because I think there's a lot of people who maybe either get called later to go overseas, or they need a little more time to accept their call. And so they've backed up that time a little bit, so that if people have started in the workplace, they may decide to switch their path and take a 2-year detour.
That's true. And an interesting fact, I think we had one of the very youngest journeymen to go. She had not yet turned 21 at the time of commissioning. And so she had to have parental releases.
Wow. Well, this Journeyman program is still hopping. It is still going today. And we would love to get you more information. If you want to know more about the Journeyman program, contact us.
Yeah.
There are several people who have served in that program that are here, and we want to get you connected if that's something you feel called to do.
What led you, besides you talked about it, your BSU stuff, to continue? So now we're jumping a little bit ahead. To continue this, going to the nations following your time in the Journeyman program?
Well, that's a multifaceted question.
That's why we're doing this.
Well, I guess first of all is the answer is to answer the question: how do you know? Mm-hmm. How do you know what you're supposed to do?
That's good.
And, for me, in the journeyman process, whenever I was there was an interview session after you were first invited to a group session. And not everyone that was invited to that session was chosen, but it was an in-depth, long weekend of explaining to you what was involved, what the mission opportunities are. And, it was during that weekend that I really felt, hey, God wants me to do this. And I came away from that weekend knowing that, God wanted me to go into the Journeyman program and be overseas wherever it was for 2 years.
Sure.
And, that feeling was so real that I don't know what it would have done if I hadn't been chosen to the program. It would. I think that would have really shaken my faith in knowing what God wants you to do.
Yeah.
Because I felt so strongly that's what I was supposed to do. Beyond that, the reason you go is because God tells us to.
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many people out there in the world, and I'm not just talking about overseas, but right here at home, that need to know the love of Jesus Christ.
That's right.
And how else do they know if we don't go and tell them?
That's right. That's good. That's good. You just made the plea. That's it. That is why we were created. Those who trust and follow Jesus. That is exactly why you are on this planet right now. Is to go and make his name known. And who's going to tell him? Like you just said. The church, the people of God, that's his plan A. There is no plan B. Yeah. We're his plan A to go and proclaim his name. Yeah, that's so good. Thank you for sharing that. What if somebody's thinking about the Journeyman program, what would you tell them?
It's a great opportunity. you can see all kinds of a world out there.
Yeah, that's right.
I've told many people over the years that 2 years in the Journeyman program taught me more than 4 years of college education.
Really?
Yes, especially in the area of political science. In the area of international relations, in the area of cultural differences. So yeah, it's better than a four-year college degree in so many different ways. Yeah, there's fringe benefits. Yeah, you do get to see the world. There's some downsides to it too. Living in a one-room apartment, for 2 years is with no roommate and pretty much nobody around your own age with your own background.
Yeah,
it's difficult.
Sure.
We refer to it as culture shock.
Yeah,
and some people don't survive it.
Really?
I mean, we had people in our program that, as you would say, washed out, had to come home.
Yeah.
So the devil works.
Yeah.
And he works while you're there too. It's not easy.
For sure. And Lauren, I think you can attest to that too. Even though you had a little bit different time as a journeyman because of a global pandemic.
Yeah, that was a small thing. I think one thing to remember, though, is that, over the years of this program, every year there are steps taken to make it easier to be successful. For example, member care is a real thing now that I used because of that whole global pandemic thing. That'll do a number on your brain on top of what culture shock will already do, right? And so I spoke to member care regularly just to get help on how to process my thoughts, because you're right, the enemy wants to stop what you're doing. He doesn't want you to be over there. And so he was doing a number on my mind, and so I was able to speak with member care, to share my struggles. I mean, golly, they were teaching me breathing exercises, okay? Like these are real things that real people need, whether you're overseas or not. But they've taken a lot of steps to help journeymen work through their struggles rather than just sending them home.
Yeah.
People ask me, what's a Journeyman program like? And an easy explanation that people generally get is, I tell them, well, it's like the Peace Corps, but church-sponsored.
Okay.
But an interesting fact is that in the early stages of the Journeyman program, the success rate of journeyman placement was so great that the Peace Corps actually came to the Foreign Mission Board and studied the program to try to improve the retention rate in the Peace Corps.
Look at that.
Wow.
Gospel proclamation making a major impact.
Yes.
I mean, that's incredible.
I can't imagine such a thing.
Something about the kingdom advancing across the world. That's
wild.
Amazing. Let's go back to cultural differences.
Okay.
How did you navigate? What tools in the tool belt, or that you've learned, or I can't. I've only been on short term, so 2 weeks at most, and I can navigate cultural differences for about 2 weeks. At least at this point in my life. By God's grace, maybe it'll be longer later on. How did you navigate cultural differences during your time in that Journeyman program?
That's
a pretty loaded question.
Yeah, and the very first thing that pops into my mind was a date night.
Date night? How did we get there?
Well, it was better than that. It was date night with a local. It was a young lady. It was a young lady that. Well, let's back up. Culturally,
okay. All right.
Culturally, it would not have happened. But this young lady had been to the United States and was attending college here, and so she was familiar with American customs.
Okay.
And we hit it off. So we went out to dinner one night. It was just a one night dinner, but that was something that just normally wasn't done in that culture, and I was so scared. I mean, I had all kinds of visions of bad things happening.
Oh my goodness!
But everything was cool.
Yeah.
But you first of all, you've got to learn from the locals what is acceptable and what is not.
Yeah.
And do that quickly.
Gotcha.
And from that point on, it's a matter of, I almost want to say, forget that you're an American.
Okay.
Forget everything that we do here.
Yeah. It's so different.
It's so different.
Okay.
And so you've got to become accepted, you've got to be like when in Rome, do as the Romans.
Yeah.
I mean, that's so cliche, but it's so true.
So true. Yeah. Okay.
One thing that they do, or at least did 6 years ago when I went through the program, is now at training. When I was there, training was 7 weeks long. I believe the length of training has continued to change over the years depending on what's needed. But they break you up into affinity groups throughout training. And so many, if you're working with European peoples, many things are similar. Obviously, lots of things are different depending on where you are in Europe. But they'll break you up into those groups. They'll break you up into American peoples. They'll break you up into Sub-Saharan. And you can meet as an affinity depending on where you're headed and talk about the overarching cultural expectations. And then obviously you'll learn things on top of that once you get to your location, or if you're able to speak to team members before you go. But trying to understand a lot of that, to study a lot of that before you go, is really valuable before you get on the field, just to try to lessen that culture shock a little bit, because it is different. Honestly, I feel like America is the only thing that feels like America. I've been to multiple places, and nothing feels quite like here does.
Sure.
Oh, that's true. And in our training session, which was longer, they tried to create a false culture. We could not spend any significant time with any other person. We could not date anybody in the group.
I'm pretty sure that rule is still there, Jerel.
Oh, it is. We managed to
I'm
slip off.
pretty sure you're not supposed to date locals either, but
we still managed to slip off. Did any of your group do that?
No. I'm a rule follower, Jerel. I don't know if you know this about me.
That's true. I noticed that. Yes, and obviously I am not.
She here's the she asked permission, you ask forgiveness. That's how it goes.
Hey, that's the reason I'm saved.
That's right. That is right. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. So did you have a language barrier that
yes.
you had to navigate?
You have to navigate a language barrier, and did they teach you New Guinea Pidgin?
I'm sorry. Can you say that again?
Did they teach you New Guinea Pidgin in orientation?
No. Were they supposed to?
Yeah, they did us.
I didn't go to New Guinea.
They actually, in our orientation, they actually taught us a language that didn't exist.
That's wild.
Is that like Pig Latin?
Sort of like Pig Latin, but yeah, it was even different from that. And and the idea was, to learn a new language, and that's what you do. I mean, a lot of the positions for journeyman are in English. I mean, you do not have to know another language, or at least when I was there, you did not have to know another language to go. Some jobs were specific, requesting Spanish speaking, and we did have some that were qualified and did go in those positions. But the language barrier is real, and in a 2-year time period, you're going to learn another language, or at least be able to get around in another language.
Sure.
Because go to some parts of the world and they don't speak English. And one of the things that I found out real quickly is that even though they speak English, they're not going to help you. But if you try and you're very broken, whatever language you're learning, to get along in that language, then they'll start speaking English to you and help you out.
I feel like there's a story behind this.
The story was getting the oil changed and getting the vehicle serviced at a station. Yes.
Wow.
So you got to show that you got a little skin in the game before they were willing to help you.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. That's incredible. That's so good. All right. So you and I have had off podcast conversations. What's one of the coolest or craziest stories that you are able to tell us?
Ooh. Oh, I wish you'd given me some warning on that question.
Sorry.
Oh, you've got a lot of them.
I think one of the coolest or craziest stories involved an overnight hike and camping trip.
Oh my!
And
this is going to be good.
It seemed like that every time we did this, and we did several hikes and camping trips, but it seemed like that every time we did it, it rained.
Really?
Yes. And on this particular trip, and typically we'd start walking about 10 o'clock in the morning and spend the night somewhere, and then get to our destination midday to mid-afternoon the next day. This particular trip, we had stopped that night and had set up camp kind of up on the top of a hillside. Well, there's some locals that were camped there also, but they were down off the top of the hill down in the bottom of a valley.
Yeah.
Well, they wanted us to come down and set our camp up with them down in the valley.
Sure.
Well, us Americans, we knew better. We liked the high ground because we'd been in the valley before and it had rained and we'd gotten washed away. So this time we was going to take the high ground. And so we did, went to bed that night, middle of the night, the storm hit. And the wind was so ferocious, we were up in the middle of the night out picking up rocks, trying to find the biggest rocks we could to put on the corner of our tents to keep them from blowing away.
Oh, no.
And the point being, I guess, is that the locals knew what was coming, even though we didn't have a weather forecast back then. They knew the weather patterns well enough to know that the storm was coming, and they were down in the valley in the shelter so that their tents didn't get blown over, and they weren't out in the middle of the night picking up rocks, trying to put on the corner of the tents to keep it from blowing away.
Wow. So maybe listen to the locals next time.
Guaranteed.
Wow, that's good. That's really good. I know we when we went this past time to South Asia. We had to listen to the locals because they knew what was coming. They saw snow in a spot where they haven't seen snow or we're not expecting it. Like, trust us, you'll be all right. Okay, gotcha. Good deal. I'm terrified.
I'm pretty sure we got pictures of them with like ice on their eyelashes at one point, but they were okay.
Yeah, we were fine.
Oh,
I was in the city where it hasn't snowed in like 15 years.
I've been in the desert where it hadn't rained in 50 years, and we got rained on.
That's how it works. How else would we have stories to tell?
That's right. So you moved from Journeyman, and now you're into life. How did that transition look?
Well, I guess you come back home, I guess, first of all, and you realize that there's so much need, both here and abroad, and that affects you. I mean, that's something that you carry with you for the rest of your life. I mean, you don't. We grew up here in the United States privileged. Mm-hmm. Even our poorest are privileged compared to the rest of the world. And the need is out there all over.
Yeah.
So it gives you a different perspective for the rest of your life. And for me, it just emphasized the need that as Christians, we have a responsibility, we have a reason to first tell others about Jesus, second, to help meet the needs of other people.
Yeah.
And that continues throughout the rest of your life.
Yeah.
That initial experience, it changes your outlook.
Yeah, that's good.
It changes your outlook for the rest of your life.
That's really good. What does missions look like in the life of Jerel Brown today?
You're asking me. No, I don't want to answer that question. Missions for me is a so much in a daily life is a personal thing.
Yeah.
I don't want people to know necessarily what I've done.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason is because I don't want the credit. God gets the credit.
Yeah, that's right.
And I don't want it, and I don't need it.
Sure.
My faith is in Him.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
It's not in what I do, what I did for somebody else. My faith is in Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And so, in that respect, I'm not going to talk about everything that I've done.
Sure.
I've been on mission trips. I've helped build houses in Mexico. I've helped build houses in Guatemala.
Yeah.
In Mexico, we put in water systems. We put in electrical systems. But that in those cases, that's group efforts.
Sure.
But for me personally, it's the little things that I do, or that my wife and I as a family do to minister to other people in need.
Yeah.
And, God gets the credit.
That's right. That's good. It's so good. And I think, friends, you would hear that sentiment, that statement echoed from all of our adventurers, all of our missionaries, all of our workers. It's the Lord who one puts it on your heart, but then number two, it's the Lord who gets all the credit. And so, thank you for sharing that. That's a really good word for all of us. We've got to love God, number one, and out of that love for God comes our love for people. and seeing people, even in their mess, that they need the love of Christ. And we just jump in and help them. We don't have to have the big flashy billboard say, look at me, look at me. I don't have to have a T-shirt that says, hey, I'm doing this. It's just go and be the hands and feet of Jesus in your everyday normal life and let him do the work. And so, yeah, thank you for sharing that. So you like to take a lot of pictures.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So what you document your world travels through your pictures. Where have you been in the world? Instead of where's Carmen Sandiego for anybody that remembers that, where's Jerel Brown?
Do you wear a red hat?
Well, I guess first of all, we've lived, Melanie and I have lived all over the Southeast.
Really?
Kentucky, Texas, Oklahoma, Mississippi, Louisiana.
Yeah. All vastly different cultural things.
All vastly different cultural things, yes. But travel-wise, let's see. I've been all over Western Europe, I guess.
Okay.
I have not been, well, that's not true.
He's traveled more than he thought.
That's right.
I've been on the African continent.
Yeah.
I have been in East Asia.
Yeah. Wow.
Italy. Greece.
Wow.
Spain, right?
Spain, yes.
Been to Spain?
Yeah.
He's got stories for days, guys.
Yes, yeah.
It's incredible. What as we wrap up, what would you tell somebody that's either right out of college or just even considering later on? What would you tell them about mission work internationally? What would you tell them?
Follow your heart. If God lays it on your heart, it'll be okay. Now, in saying that, it can be dangerous.
Sure.
I know personally 2 people that have died.
Yeah.
I know a third one that was shot but survived. And that's in so many areas that we go to spread the gospel. That's a real possibility.
Yeah.
And sometimes you never know.
Yeah.
You can go to a country and think that everything's fine and well, and then all of a sudden, there's an upheaval, and you can't prepare for that.
Mm-hmm.
But God's in control.
Yeah.
And if you're doing His will, He will take care of you.
Yeah, that's good.
That outcome sometimes is not the best.
Sure.
But most of the time, it is so rewarding.
Yeah, that's good.
As believers, I mean, we've got a different hope, right? We have hope. So if something happens, like you said, regardless, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
The worst that can happen is that we suffer before we go see Jesus. The best that can happen is we go see Jesus.
Yeah.
It's just like I had open heart surgery a little over a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like the night before. And I don't remember, Lauren, if it was you or David Tooley. I don't remember who was there. But I told him, I said, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
I'll wake up in the morning and I'll see Melanie or I'll see Jesus, and I'm okay either way.
Either way. That's right. That's right. That's right. And that's the outlook we should all have as followers of Christ. Our goal is Jesus.
Amen.
And so when we have that, it's like everything is going to be okay. No matter where He calls us to go in the world, no matter what the outcome is, where we are in that spot, it's going to be okay.
Amen.
That's good. That's good. Well, we have a way of, one, thank you for joining us for the Adventurer Podcast.
Glad to do it.
And this, friends, when you see Jerel, this guy, number one, right now, he's making the halls of First Baptist Church at the corner of 12th and Chestnut smell absolutely divine. He's smoking some barbecue for Celebrate Recovery. And so I walked in this morning and I thought, well, I'm either going to see Jesus or I'm in the southeast heaven right now with the barbecue smell that's going on. But when you, one, thank you for all that you do, who you are, and we are all better because you are in our lives. You and Melanie are in our lives, pointing us to Jesus, even in the little things, and then in the grand things.
Thank you.
And so thanks for joining us. And then when you see him, ask him to share some of his stories. He's going to be willing to share some of his stories, even the ones he couldn't share with us today. And
That's true.
They're good. They're really good. They are really good. But again, thank you for joining us on the Adventurer Podcast. And Lauren likes to ask for us to get how many stars and ratings?
Oh, only 5, please. If you're gonna give us lower than that, we're good. We're good. You can
just not.
We'll just leave it off of there. But 5 is great. We'd love to have those.
So, friends, if you'd like, and we would love for you to leave a rating and review, it helps us get the word out about the Adventurer Podcast, and it helps us spread the news, the stories of how God uses people to impact the nations for his glory and his renown, starting here at the corner of 12th and Chestnut and moving to the vast edges of the planet. Again, for the glory of King Jesus. But Jerel, thank you so much for joining us today. And if you would, we have a little tradition here at the Adventurer Podcast. Would you send us out on our tagline?
Certainly. From our neighborhoods to the nations, may we proclaim the name of Jesus.
Thanks for listening to the Adventurer Podcast. If you would, take a minute to leave us a rating and review, 5 stars preferably, on your favorite podcast platform. This podcast is produced and engineered by Chadwick Walden. Catch you next week on Missions Monday.